end assembly here. We're going to do the normal H system, which a lot of people do. So basically you've got your strainer in the end here, and then a backup post just here. 3 meters apart, exactly 3 meters apart, done well. A lot of people will go 2.9, so you just trim that little bit off the post just so you're guaranteed. The next size up after a 3 meter post is a 3.6. There's almost a $10 difference, so if you stuff up by 50 to 100 mil, it costs you a bit extra. You need to have it nice and solid. So it's best to ram in nicely around them. So the strainer assembly is one of the most critical parts of your fence. If it's not solid enough, might be 12 months, might be 2 years, could be 2 weeks. It's going to start to let go and move. So that's what I'm saying before. 2.1 is a minimum for your strainer post. Any smaller, you're only in that top level of soil, which is always changing, wet, dry, wet, dry. It'll start to move. Some fences actually cut out a notch for your post. Doesn't really achieve much, especially these days. If you're going to pin it well. It's not going to slide out sideways. On this side. So you can either use these fiberglass rods, or you can actually use bridge spikes. Just I haven't got one on me, but yeah, just your 6-inch to 10-inch nail. So normally you put a small one in your end post, and then the large one that you can drive all the way through here. That drill, please, Owen. Just sitting up on the front there.
Spikes are still good.
Yep.
Pretty good post.
Yep, and like normally when I'm doing one from scratch, I've driven both the posts in, so they're not going to move at all. And you just pre-drill that one so it goes in, drill this way, drive it in, that's done. If you're using a 2.4 metre strainer, it will be in the ground 1.1 meters, because you want at least 1.3 out of the ground. A normal fence is, your steel post will end up 1200 high. So you want that little bit extra so you can tie off for an electric at the top, and if you want to put a switch in or anything like that as well. So there's a couple of methods. So we're going to do this. A few different brands have come up with this little idea. So basically there's a threaded rod on the bottom here, which you drill a hole into your strainer post. This goes through your strainer and then anchors into this bottom plate. Drive that in, thread rod's down, this piece goes into near the top of your post, and you just tighten up the threaded rod and you get away from having to have this top strut and your backup posts. Quick, easy, can use them on corner stays or on end assemblies. 90 odd bucks for this, a bit of time, extra post, digging, etc. there. So, but again, a lot of the things that are a lot easier to use and to do cost you a little bit extra, but labour wise it can save a lot of time. You got galvanised steel. These ones come with a plastic pad. It's best if you can bury that pad a few centimetres, just get it so it beds on rather than just sitting it straight on your grass. They are available in a galvanised plate as well. So if you're saying, you know, that's not going to rust out before a steel post is going to rust out. Now there's a couple of ways of doing these. We're going to do the quick, easy, cheats way today. Some people may have seen the system of running wires, putting a stick through it, twisting the stick round and round and round, losing half your knuckles, etc. along the way. Now there's these fancy little gizmos that Waratah make. Not cheap, but they're quick.
Of course.
These are an anchor fast kit. So this is a new form, like a gripple basically. It feeds through. Now, while I'm doing this, can anyone tell me why I'm putting this on this angle? So this will go on an angle like this.
To avoid the fence that comes this way when you start pulling.
Yep.
Yeah, your best anchor points at the bottom.
Yeah. So when you pull all your wires on, it's going to be pulling the fences. So there'll be another one of these at the other end. I'm pulling them together. So by doing this is actually pulling this post back, which will keep your strainer all nice and straight.
Yeah.
So you just put a couple of staples just to hold everything up in place. So when stapling wires on, make sure you don't staple at home. So you don't want the staple actually pushing onto the wire and that, because it'll actually crimp the wire, so to speak, and you'll end up with a weak spot, especially if you give it a good hit and it breaks it a little bit. So then these, you just feed the wire in, ripple in. And that's done. Then apparently you lock it off. And that just locks it from coming undone.
So how to lock it?
There's a little Allen key
Ah,
thing that
yep.
actually locks it
Sure.
tight into place. So yeah, these actually come with that little tool, actually. That's done, quick, easy,
Yeah.
finished. You can put a gripple on the wire, pull that up, and that's another easy way of doing it without having to worry about tying knots and everything.